Sacha Baron Cohen's characters are more than just comedic tools. They serve as a sharp instrument for dissecting social prejudices and power structures. It blends humor with social critiques in a way that challenges audiences to confront their own assumptions.
You are a fat. Whoa! Whoa, Borat! I like, very nice.
Just having fun here.
Borat messing with my self-esteem. I just asked about South India.
Women would go crazy for you in Kazakhstan. They like it very much, a fat.
Through their use of satire and immersive character acting and provocative setups, he blurs the line between entertainment and a social experiment, revealing human nature with an often uncomfortable but profoundly revealing clarity. Now, one of his most defining techniques is his commitment to character-based comedy. By crafting personas, complete with detailed backstories, mannerisms, and accents, he fully immerses himself into each role, creating a much-believed character that reveals social contradictions.
It's nothing but a license for oil companies and foreign interests to destroy my beloved Wadia.
Each of his characters embodies exaggerated cultural stereotypes, challenging the audiences to confront their own biases while also highlighting the social absurdities inherent in prejudice itself. It echoes philosopher Henri Bergson's notion of the mechanical encrusted upon the living, where comedy exposes these societal rigidities and habitual thinking that separates people from genuine humanity. His works are also steeped in satire and parody through personas that mimic reporters, talk show hosts, or cultural ambassadors. He critiques media and social norms, using humor as a mirror to expose the absurdities of politics, social issues, and celebrity culture.
Is to come out with just like these ice cream gloves that make the ice cream not go on your hands and make it all well sticky.
He often places his characters in unrehearsed situations with unsuspecting people, relying on improvisation to guide the conversation towards exposing latent biases or contradictions in the subject. This unscripted approach unveils genuine, often shocking reactions that offer deeper insights into societal views and values, making his work a kind of social experiment that uncovers truths behind polite facades.
You show some skin. Okay, show it to me.
An integral part of his approach is using shock value and discomfort, like surrealist painter Salvador Dali. As a kind of performance art in creating provocative, awkward situations, he pushes his subjects to extremes, revealing how far people will go to avoid confrontation or maintaining social decorum. This tactic serves to highlight the limits and ironies of social etiquette, exposing the lengths people will go to in order to conform to unspoken rules of politeness, even if it means agreeing to absurd or offensive statements. His discomfort-inducing comedy questions the idea of social norms and challenges the unspoken agreements people make in order to avoid social frictions. It questions whether these norms ultimately serve or harm society.
Too old for you.
Why are you dressed like my daughter? Please, take me instead. Take my honor.
There seems to be a broader political project that he's pursuing, where his characters are conduits for social and political commentary, tackling issues like racism, anti-Semitism, homophobia, and authoritarianism. For example, his character Admiral General Aladeen satirizes the absurdity of dictatorship while also commenting on the oppressive natures of American capitalism.
You guys so anti-dictators. Imagine if America was a dictatorship. You could let 1% of the people have all the nation's wealth. You could help your rich friends get richer by cutting their taxes.
And Borat, who highlights the latent biases in American society towards outsiders. He uses humor to critique power structures and prejudices. His work follows the tradition of thinkers like Mikhail, Bakhtin, who saw humor as a subversive force capable of challenging authority and the status quo, using satire to create moments of carnivalesque inversion where social hierarchies and norms are temporarily dismantled, revealing their inherent contradictions.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, people are loving it, except I'm hearing maybe the governments in your country aren't very happy about it. There have been some controversies in my country of Kazakhstan about the amount of anti-Semitism in my movie film. However, eventually the Kazakh censor allowed the film to be released after deciding that there was just enough.
Cultural identity and ignorance are frequent themes in his work, as his characters often fail to understand or blatantly disregard cultural norms, bringing issues of ignorance and stereotypes into stark relief. Borat's exaggerated outsider perspective offers a satirical lens through which to view American culture, as he often exposes cultural contradictions and unexamined assumptions by behaving in ways that highlight the strangeness of customs that might otherwise go unquestioned. His comedy seems to reflect a post-colonial critique of cultural superiority, where an outsider's gaze forces viewers to reevaluate social norms that they may unconsciously regard as universal or inherently superior. Media and celebrity culture are recurring targets of his satire, particularly through characters like Ali G, who mocks the sensationalism and superficiality of celebrity interviews, and by exaggerating things like self-importance and sensationalism, he critiques the media's obsession with fame, exposing the shallowness that often underlies the entertainment industry. It resonates with thinkers like Theodor Adorno or Max Horkheimer, who critiques the culture industry, where they argue that mass media manipulates and pacifies the public through shallow and commodified content, blurring the lines between serious issues and entertainment.
You could ignore the needs of the poor for healthcare and education. Your media would appear free, but would secretly be controlled by one person and his family. You could wiretap phones. You could torture foreign prisoners. You could have rigged elections. You could lie about why you go to war. You could fill your prisons with one particular racial group, and no one would complain.
By constantly pushing the boundaries of what's considered acceptable, his comedy challenges the social limits on speech and explores the consequences of crossing the boundaries that society sets. He pushes the lines of free speech, as his willingness to say the unsayable forces viewers to grapple with the ethical complexities of free expression and its impact on society. It raises questions whether freedom of speech is vital for intellectual societal progress, despite the discomfort it may cause, or if there are harmful forms of speech that need to be regulated. At the heart of his work is an interesting philosophy of revealing truth through deception. By inhabiting fictional personas, he coaxes out unguarded responses, often exposing views that individuals might otherwise conceal. His approach, though ethically complex, rests on the belief that real issues justify this method, and it makes him a sort of modern-day trickster who reveals human nature by pushing it to its extremes.
In our First Amendment against him, you have to fight fire with fire.
Yes, sir.
His character confronts social norms and hypocrisy, forcing audiences to confront uncomfortable topics that are often avoided. By juxtaposing people's stated beliefs with their actual reactions, he sheds light on social conventions in a way that's both humorous and deeply revealing. Ultimately, he believes in the transformative power of satire. He believes that humor, when wielded effectively, can spark social change, making serious issues accessible and prompting audiences to reflect on both personal and social beliefs. His work serves as a catalyst for dialogue, and this is not a new approach, as philosophers like Voltaire, who use satire as a means of exposing injustice and encouraging critical thinking, have also positioned laughter as a powerful tool for challenging entrenched norms. By crafting discomfort, he encourages viewers to examine their own beliefs and biases and turns his comedy into a platform for public debate. He pushes audiences to consider their own role in perpetuating societal flaws and pushes the idea that true self-awareness often comes from confronting uncomfortable truths about one's society and oneself. Still, there are lawsuits and public criticisms that highlight the ethical tensions of this method of deception as a tool for social commentary. Unwitting participants might feel misrepresented or humiliated, and this also sparks an important discussion about the responsibilities associated with satire and the limits of artistic license.
Very hard to believe, but I'm gay.
Sacha Baron Cohen, born October 13th, 1971 in London, England, is an actor, comedian, writer, and producer.
It's been a disaster, actually.
because socializing has been very difficult for me.
Whose flair for creating controversial characters like Ali G, Borat, Bruno, or Admiral General Aladeen has influenced comedy and theories of media. He's revolutionized the mockumentary genre and popularized the use of hidden cameras within satire. He's paved the way for a generation of new comedians who use satire and immersive character acting to address social issues. Educators, critics, and commentators often reference his work as a lens through which to explore complex social problems, using humor as a means to engage a topic that might otherwise be met with resistance or discomfort.
I brought the girl for you.
Beyond his comedic role, he has been an outspoken advocate for human rights, addressing issues such as hate speech or misinformation, and his activism largely aligns with the themes of his comedic work, and it shows his commitment to social causes that he critiques on screen, and shows that his comedic provocations are not just for entertainment but are grounded in genuine drive for social improvement. By using humor as a mirror to reflect society's strengths and flaws, his work not only entertains but also inspires crucial conversations about cultural identity, ethics, and the nature of humanity.
Wasser!